leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
No,
We're gonna pause. Okay. got it.
Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
That's our new intro. That's it.
That was
That's it. And,
well worth the wait.
and again, we didn't rehearse it.
Nope.
Everybody out there is going, wow, look at those guys in sync always. That was not
The
rehearsed.
second time. The first time.
Well, the first time it was.
And it was the
Alita.
first time we ever did that intro.
Hey, who's our
Hey.
sponsor tonight?
Oh, today's show is brought to us by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers
For the 9/11 community. Thank you, Michael Barasch, for your support. Always. So, few things.
There we are. Oh,
Few things.
Yes,
I took the kids were off from school.
I saw that.
Kids were off from school. What's today? Wednesday. Yesterday, I had an all-day thing going on. Then baseball practice. And they wanted to go to Stu Leonard's. They like walking around in Stu
They
Leonard's.
love Stu Leonard.
But here's the thing. Hey, Patrick. It's Johnny Plug time. That's our biggest fan, Patrick McDonald. Hello, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Thank you for your service, Patrick. So,
Patrick is so nice. You know, he came to that show we did in Jersey that you were on.
yes.
And he pulls me aside, goes, "You were my favorite one on that show. So nice."
Well, and I was on the show.
Well, you were
I'm
good,
sitting
too.
here.
Oh,
You had to say I'm sitting right here.
he never said that. I'm teasing.
I know,
I'm teasing.
but you could have said, "Oh, he said you were the favorite one, like me."
Oh,
that
yeah.
would have been
yeah,
nice.
yeah. That's what he said.
That's
I
what,
miss.
there it is. So I go to Stu Leonard's. Now, when you have she's going to be 4 and he's 8.
Right.
They push each other's buttons.
Oh,
You know what I mean? That's when you're an older brother. You like to teach you. So they want to go there. All right. Now I tell them ahead of time, one snack. You get one snack and no toys or games. Because sometimes at the register, they have something with the look, right? So now we're walking around. She's in the cart. He's hanging on the cart. The thing is tipping over. We're walking around. He presses the first button, the moo cow button. Moo. She flips out. Now she's crying, right?
Right. She can't just push it after.
Are you logically trying to explain this to me? Really? I'm going to let you hang out with them for a day, and then you're going to go, what the frick? Right? So, and you see all the cute videos I post.
Oh,
That is 0.3% of my day.
right.
When I could get a nice, quick 3-second video to 5-second, they're so cute. Then for 2 hours, it's a living hell. It's so now I'm walking around, the cart's tipping over. Now he grabs the brownies, right? Oh, the brownies. And she's like,
Snack number one.
I want to eat it now. Right? Then he grabs a bag of popcorn they have there this big.
The jumbo bag. Yeah.
No problem.
How much is that bag?
I don't know. It's too much. It's Stu Leonard's. I think they're overpriced, but we just lost them as a sponsor. So we're walking around the store, right? And he's eating the popcorn. And I go around and look at him. I go, bro, what are you doing? He made a hole in the bottom of the bag because he couldn't figure out how to open up the top. Now he makes a hole. He's eating out of the bottom of the bag. Right? So then, all right, now
popcorn everywhere.
Popcorn's falling on the floor. Now they want to go to avocado. Press the avocado button. Avocado. So we're dancing, right? Grab a few more things.
Yeah.
He wants pizza. He always wants pizza there. He doesn't eat the cheese.
They make fresh pizza there?
Fresh pizza, not bad. He doesn't eat cheese on pizza. So why are we getting pizza, right?
Maybe you just why don't you just get him pita bread in the bag and let him eat it out of it?
Because that won't work. You know what I'm saying? It won't work. So I'm trying to get out of it. Now he grabs the pizza. Now she doesn't get anything. Now he wants to sit and eat. What is she going to do?
Right.
So we go to the register, and there's a little egg bunny, $9. It's nothing.
Right.
She wants I go, what did I tell you? Ma, I want the want the money, right? Now they're crying at the register. She's crying, so we sit and eat.
Do they know you when
Yes.
you walk in there?
Yes. Yes. So now he's eating,
Yeah.
trying to occupy her, and now I got California rolls, and I'm nibbling on them, and I want
the sushi.
Yeah, I want one of those because she always wants what you have.
Right.
Right. I want one of those. So now I was in a tizzy at this point, right? I was just so good. I hand it to her. I look at him, right, and I hear, ah! I forgot I put the wasabi on it. She's like, it's so hot. And now she's screaming, crying again, right?
Right.
She goes, I want my
Are
own.
you the least bit embarrassed or
Yes.
humiliated?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then she goes, I want my own. Now we already paid with the whole cart. So I go, all right, I push the cart back to the girl and I go, listen, I'm going to leave the cart here. I'm going to just go back and get another California.
Right.
The girl looks at me a little panicked and she goes, oh, I can't watch the kids.
Well, she's right. You were gonna
I
leave
wasn't
her?
leaving the kids. I said to her, well, you seem very nice. There's no way I'm leaving the kids with you, you know? So I go back, get that, get the ice cream now, right? And now now I got to pay for the California roll. What do I have to pass again to pay? The bunny with the egg.
Oh, no.
She's trying to grab it outside. It was. She looks so cute, doesn't she, on the videos?
Oh,
Spend the day.
And you all have smiles with the ice cream. It's melting over their knuckles.
And what happens? What happens a minute after that picture? The ice cream falls out on her lap. You know, it's anyway. That was 7 minutes of our show.
You can never take them to a library.
She goes to a library with Nana. She goes to the library.
Nice
she
and
loves the
quiet.
library. Took them to the park. Oh, here's the. I took them to the park. They're running in the Wato Park. They got this big thing. Some mother gives the kids bubbles. Those skinny long bubbles. I don't know if you're familiar. And you can make big bubbles with it. The kid goes to the top of the thing and accidentally spills all the soap down the side onto the climbing thing. Now kids are sliding down, hitting their face. And I go over to the mother and I go, the kids spilled the soap.
Right.
She said, don't you have any paper towels? She, oh, no. And she continues. Now parents are pulling the kids off the thing. You know.
People are so inconsiderate.
This is all in one day.
Wow.
And Panera Bread I brought them.
I don't miss those days at all. Who were better, your kids or your grandkids?
Well, I
you don't have any control at all of these.
No control. I buy her everything. Yeah. We went to 7-Eleven the same thing.
Why don't you just bring them to like a McDonald's playground or something?
Oh, I don't like those. It's too gross. It's like Chuck E. Cheese.
Please.
You go to Chuck E. You bring your kids to Chuck E. Cheese.
We used to. We did all that. I used to go to the McDonald's all the time
and leave them
let
there.
them run.
It was a different time. You could leave them there.
The germs weren't different.
The germs were different. They would.
No. I heard it.
That was early. That was early.
Yeah.
So Joe Napoli's coming on later on tonight.
He's a delight. He's
so
much
a delight.
Fun.
He really is because he's watching right now.
Great energy.
But I was talking to Joe, and we'll talk a little about him later. I want to have a name for him because he's going to be a regular, like every few weeks, not every week. He's a little much every week.
Right.
You know I'm saying? He's a little much with the beard. He's nice. I worked with him. He's a firefighter brave hero, but it's a little much. But
he's like you said before we went on. He's over the top.
I didn't say that. He was not on yet when I said that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But
Joe,
people love.
So he needs a nickname. Why don't we let him try and?
I am, but I want to throw it at you also because people love Brooklyn from around the country. They're interested.
How about Santa Joe?
No, you can't. Santa Joe.
Right.
Because
of the kids.
I think Brooklyn should be in the title. I know it's a little hokey.
Brooklyn Joe.
Brooklyn Joe Nips. I was going to call him Brooklyn Joe Nips.
I don't know if we need the nips, but Brooklyn Joe.
It's a little too basic. I want a little, like Tony Baker Donuts type thing.
I got it.
So we'll bring Joey in later and we'll talk more about that. But think about that. All right. My big gig was canceled this week. The big gig in the bookstore.
Oh no.
Yeah, they had like.
That was the one you were headlining.
Yeah, my first headline gig in 5 years.
And it only seats like 10 people. How did it?
10 people.
No, I'm only kidding.
It's all seats. 400 books and 10 people.
So What they say? What happened?
They said, man, the 10 people looked at the flyer and looked at some of my videos and decided to go elsewhere to read.
That's bad.
They weren't going to watch the
If
show.
you were in a bookstore, people actually be reading through your set.
Yeah. Oh, shh.
Oh,
I'm
you
reading.
hear this? Yes, crickets.
I'm reading. Shh. What was the craziest show you ever did? Oh, was it my show in Rayburn Flanagan's?
Standing on a wall between a bar and a restaurant. It was only about 6 inches wide,
Okay.
and it was that half wall
Like
that
on a
separates
ledge?
I stood on top of that doing the show.
You did some shows with strippers, no? I did two. Two with strippers.
No, but I did do a show on a stripper stage behind the bar, right?
There was no strippers that night, though?
No strippers. But
Oh,
wait,
you looked
you're
out.
right.
You looked out.
On the left side of the room, it was the first Subway series between
Bobby
the
is
Mets.
entertaining himself
I know.
back there. He's noisy and,
Okay, but that's why the show is free tonight for us. Because he's playing with a new
he's the,
toy. But anyway, but
we're well rehearsed out here. We don't need all that.
you had, back to the show, we had the first Subway series going on.
Right. Oh,
And we were in the middle of all the TVs. And people on this side of the bar were watching these TVs. This. And the comedians didn't even exist.
The people are going, shh. I
You're
can't hear
ruining
the game.
Shut
I
up.
can't hear the game. No, I did this. I did twice. I opened for strippers.
Right. I never even heard it. I've never even had that.
I didn't either until I got there. I didn't know. And the first time I did it was a beautiful, fine apartment memorial in upstate New York under a big tent, ringing the bell for all the guys that died that year. Beautiful ceremony.
Right.
They go, okay, guys, we're going to break.
Oh,
We're going to have hot dogs and beer, and then we're going to bring it. They didn't even say they bring the strip. What happened was when they broke, all the chiefs with the uniforms, everybody left.
Yeah.
All that was left was the teenagers waiting for the strippers. But I had to go up before the strippers.
Right.
And I said, guys, give me 10 minutes. I'm not fooling anybody here, but they paid me really good money.
Yeah.
Let me just go through it. And they were supportive. They were good.
I have had that same incident. When I was on the floor,
Right.
it was all men. It
Right.
was all men. And the girls came in, walked in behind me wearing all the bustiers,
Right,
and the
right.
nylon stockings.
What were you doing?
And the place went nuts.
Right.
And I go, oh, you like that joke?
They thought it was you. All right,
Yeah.
so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to break, and we're going to be back with veteran.
Hold on, before you go to break.
Oh, we haven't seen Butch in a while.
Why?
Really? I'm not on for 2 months? I wanted to say thank you to all the people who've been sending me messages.
Oh,
That's all.
Listen, we
Not,
missed you.
not how do you feel? Not
said, how do
Excuse
you
me.
feel?
How many times have I called you and said, don't come on again? No. How many times have I called you and said, how do you feel? I texted you.
you have.
You called me in the middle of my class and said, I just came out of a coma. Who
I
else
did.
would
I
you
did.
call? Who
I
else would you
did.
call out of a coma right away?
Nobody.
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 We're
Just
glad-
just Johnny L.
We're
That's
glad
it.
you're
How
feeling
great
better.
he looks. Does he look
He looks
fantastic?
great. He looks great.
I look
Glad
good.
you're back, Butch.
But
Glad
people
you're
have
back.
been sending me messages. A lot of people from the show have been sending me messages.
Oh, nice.
Let him finish.
I'm doing nicely. I just wanted to say it's good to be back. And now we can go to commercial.
All right.
All right, we'll be back with veteran author Eddie Molina. Looks good, Butchie.
This is personal to me. I'm John Field, 9/11 responder and advocate. I walked the halls of Congress for 20 years. You too may qualify for the same 9/11 benefits as I do. It's true, it's the law. If you were south of Canal Street and you had any of the 69 cancers linked to 9/11, you may qualify for compensation up to $250,000 and free health care. Sadly, only 10% of you have enrolled. Access what you are owed. Call now to find out if you qualify. I fought side by side with Barasch and McGarry for 2 decades in Washington, D.C. to get benefits for all victims, not just responders. You owe it to yourself to call Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. I trust them. So can you.
And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives live.
But Laughter Saves Lives.
Live.
Live.
Let's bring out veteran author Eddie Molina. Hey, how you doing, brother?
An author.
Great to see you guys.
Good to see you. It's been a while since we had you on the show.
Yes.
Every time I said, let's have you on, Butch said, no. And I don't think it's right, but you take that up with Butch.
I know. I have to pay him a visit very soon.
So we've had you on before, but quickly, a little background. You were Army veteran for 10 years, right?
Wow.
In the National Guard as an artillery officer. What does an artillery officer do? Do you manage the artillery, or do you shoot it?
A little bit of both, but it's a majority of managing it. Because when an order or a request comes for fire, is what we call it, we have to make sure that it's safe and that it's within, a designated area that it's already pre-managed. So we have to do a lot of last-second calculations to make sure that, how much gunpowder you use, what type of ammo fuse, what we have available. And then once we get that, then we send that down to the gun line, and they're the ones that pull the trigger.
Wow, very
that
interesting.
Reminds me
Very
of, like,
interesting.
I'm sure you heard it. Got a 1,000 phone calls when the whole Alec Baldwin thing went on, right? Everybody called you.
Yeah, you know what? I can see how that happens very easily. We had one event where the sun was setting and the battalion commander wanted to expel all the rounds before sunset, because in order to turn back in artillery rounds that are partially open is a big process. So everyone was just rushing through the process. They were just jamming the artillery shells in there, just pulling that it was reckless. So, it's like that. If you have one powder bag too many, and it's not hard to do, that's going to go an extra, say, 300 meters, and that could land, in somebody's house. So it was
wow.
Yeah, I can see how that happens.
Why would there ever be a live ammunition ever at any time? Why don't they use those guns strictly for the use of the theater, or you know what I'm saying, or the movie? Why?
Because I don't know too much about the Alec Baldwin case, but I do know that when you're using blank rounds, you're using a real weapon. So all you have to do is just grab the wrong round, and then there you go, it's done. Because we use blank rounds in training scenarios with the rifles, and they shoot. It's the same mechanism, same everything. It's just there's no bullet at the end of the shell. It's just
Right.
off. So all you have to do is replace that fake round with a real one, and it's the same process. So I could see how it could be accidental, because I'm sure on set, whoever's authorized to carry that gun probably has real ammo and probably has licenses to do all that. So it's just a matter of a simple error somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
I see.
You were in Iraq in 2008.
Wow.
What are the conditions over there that you were staying in? I'm sure there are different levels of I don't want to say hotels, housing. Explain to the viewers what type of facilities they provide when you're in something like that.
That varies widely. It depends on how soon you get there, from the start of the battle to when you're leaving and what your mission is. We were fortunate enough where everything was already established. We needed to be very close to where our objective was. So we were in hardened structures that had AC, that had beds, and even had electricity, so we can have a TV and access the armed forces television network. But that's not the case. Some guys, when they're just first getting there, they have to live out of their backpack.
Sure.
And then off of temporary structures. The only hardened time we had, which it wasn't really, is when our relief unit came. We had to sleep in tents because they needed to occupy the buildings. And that was for a month while we changed over. But that wasn't really, it was just sleeping on a cot. But I wouldn't call that hardcore living.
Well, for some of us who are not used to that, I would say that would be pretty. I don't want to use the word hardcore, but sleeping on a cot is not really as comfortable as a bed, right?
No, it's not. But like anything else, you get used to it.
Yeah.
We started in a cot, at any time. So it's nothing that we weren't used to. And anybody in service that was over there can attest. When you first get there, when you hear the sirens go off for incoming mortars, you freak out and you run to shelter.
Right.
A few months in, you're just tired of it, and you just stay where you're at and just kind of hope for the best.
Tired of running. You could, I know these are basic questions, but I think a lot of people don't know
Right.
the conditions that our soldiers deal with once they're overseas and in an area like that. Like you just said, after a while you get used to, hey, incoming. Let's hope we're okay. Food. What about food? How good was it?
That actually was the luxury. What they try to do while you're overseas is to maintain high morale.
Right.
One thing they can do to do that is they do spend a lot of money on the food part. So where we were at, we had 24-hour operations. So we call them DFACS, dining facilities. You can go in at any time, get an omelet, or get a sandwich made right on the spot. They had 3 meals a day where you can get hot food, and on Fridays was steak night. So yeah,
Nice.
I can complain about the food.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So now you come home, or you're and you get involved with. Were you a law enforcement?
Yes. Yeah, I did almost 20 years in corrections. Yep.
Okay, good. So I did my research. I'm asking you 20 years. And you're running this event because I've been down there. We did a comedy show, right? One night.
Yeah. Great.
You're doing this big 9/11 tribute on, give me the date. Oh, here it is. May 4th, 12:30 in the afternoon.
Yep.
You have 4 guest speakers. Tell us a little bit about this event and what is the reason you're doing it?
Well, that same facility where you guys were at last year, they asked us to host last year's Loyalty Day. And Loyalty Day is Eisenhower had declared it years ago where, the May 1st, you declare your loyalty to patriotism to the country. And for the VFW, it's a ceremony that we have to honor to show our patriotism. And part of that showing it is to go over an important American history event. And last year the theme was Vietnam veterans, so we honored them, and they asked me to host it this year, except for me to plan and run it. And I was like, you know what, 9/11 is, to me, in my opinion, because it came up in conversation, was that it is considered history at this point.
Sure.
Even though many of us can remember exactly what we were doing that day, if you're under 25, you have absolutely no recollection of it, and even up to 30. So I figured, this came up in conversation where, like, yeah, it's considered, like, at what point does it consider something you remember to actual history? And I think we're at that point.
Good point.
So you had 3 guest speakers. You couldn't find a 4th, so you asked me.
You know what? You were the first person I thought of, and I was like, he's got to know somebody.
I don't care if that's the truth or not. You made my night, Eddie. You made my night.
The absolute
No,
truth.
you didn't clarify. He said you were the first person I thought of. John will know somebody.
Oh, John.
Right?
That is true. I do admit
John
that,
will know.
but the second he said, well, I can do it, I'm like, I can't. I didn't even think to ask you. So, like I said, I was so quick to rush to go to you. I didn't really think through. And then as soon as you said that,
you know what?
You are a hero. You are a hero.
The thing is, I've done 1 or 2 of these, and the reason, I don't even know what I'm going to say yet, but the reason that I do them is because the same reason that we're doing Laughter Saves Lives. It's a way for me to mention the guys' names to not be forgotten. So in some way during that talk, whether I mention all of their names or one of their names who's going to represent them all, that's why I feel passionate about doing this, So I really do appreciate you asking me. I don't take it lightly. You look like you have some great guests here. You want to talk about quickly the other 3 speakers?
Yes, of course. I connected with a fellow veteran not too long ago by the name of Bill Brown, who's very patriotic, has done a lot of things for the veteran community and for America itself. He's always fighting for patriotism. And I asked him about it because I would want to give the young adult population an idea of what would happen on 9/11 from those who lived through it. And he can speak of, as being a Navy SEAL, how he faced evil and terror head on day to day while he was in Iraq.
Absolutely.
So he can kind of speak on that level to help the young adults understand, what type of person and human being you're dealing with, the same that we saw on 9/11. So we started with him, and he coincidentally had introduced me to Will Jimeno. And once I found out what his story was, which was incredible, I asked him as well. I was like, hey, would you be willing? And he jumped at the chance because he's always looking to educate people on his experience. And the final person I found through LinkedIn, just going through YouTube videos, Michaela, she was on the 95th floor of the second tower when the building was hit, the other tower was hit, and she managed to get out. She had some mental health challenges after that experience that she overcame with yoga. So she speaks professionally, so she's gonna speak of her experience.
And that's how I feel about laughter. Is that helped me get through to be around other comics like Richie and other comics and laugh and be able to make people laugh, because it's a different take on how to get over 9/11 or whatever. But I felt that those guys made me laugh a lot. The guys that were lost made me in the firehouse. Nobody knew I was the comic because there was so many funny guys in there. And if I can make people laugh as a way to remember them, that's pretty cool. So again, this is going to be a great event. I'm excited to do it. And I think some of the donations are going to go to Laughter Saves Lives Foundation, which is really cool.
That is incorrect. It is not some, it is all of the donations.
All of the donations.
Wow.
Yes, so as well as sponsorships. We have reached out to our routine sponsors that help us cover these expenses. And for this one, there is no overhead. So we're asking sponsors if they just want to get involved. And sure enough, a couple of them already jumped on, and we're looking to get some more. And we're also going to ask for donations.
Look at that.
That's great. That's great. And I'm going to have Joe Napoli with me. Is coming with me. He's going to help me out with maybe selling some shirts, or
you're gonna have fun with Joe.
Eating a lot of hot dogs. I don't know what he's going to do, but Joe's gonna come down. So we're looking forward to it. It is VFW Post. The flyer is up there, 1451 South River, New Jersey, Sunday, May 4th, 12:30. It's open to the public with no cover charge, just donations.
Look at that.
Eddie, thank you so much for including us and taking the time to come on and talk tonight.
And thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for your service.
Yes, you guys are most welcome. And I want to end by saying, I promote a lot of nonprofit organizations, but some nonprofits are better suited for some guys and girls in certain situations. But the difference with yours is no matter what, if somebody smiles, they're improving their mental health. That is common denominator, and this is why I'm excited to help promote you guys as well.
Awesome, thanks, Eddie. We'll
see
you in a few weeks.
You got it.
Good. Break, and we'll be back with Michael Goldstein.
Yeah,
Michael Goldstein. I didn't mess up his name. We'll be back.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I have 30 seconds to give you a very important message. My name is Arthur Lee. I'm the CEO and inventor of LifeVac, a simple choking rescue device that could save a life in a choking emergency. We've saved over 3,000 lives now, but we're not there. 5,000 people a year choke to death, one child every 5 days. Please consider protecting your family in a choking emergency with LifeVac. Go to lifevac.net today. Thank you for your time.
And we're back. Bobby, can we talk pickleball?
Move in, Michael. Move on over. Come on over.
There. Too soon. One more time. And we're back with our pickleball segment. Our Laughter Saves Lives had playoffs Monday night. Bridget could not make it. So Christina Marie filled in, my daughter, who I haven't played in a year and a half.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. Not playing in a year and a half. Stepping up to the plate. We won the first game.
Look at that.
Lost the next two to be eliminated 11-7, 11-7.
It happened.
Thank you, Christina Marie, for stepping up. Next season, we're going to do a lot better. So our next guest is my friend here, Michael Goldstein.
How you doing, guys?
How are you?
Michael
Welcome
was sitting
aboard.
in the audience at the beginning of the show, and Michael's daughter is in my granddaughter's gymnastics class.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm sitting there talking about her, I know Michael's sitting there going, I get it.
I definitely get it.
Because he's always running in with her under her arm. They're running in, and, she won't get dressed.
One arm over the shoulder,
Yeah.
over the head, everything.
Yeah. So he gets it. So we were talking one day there, and this guy is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I can't even say the word. I'm so nervous to do this. This guy, he was involved in a lot of different things. But the one thing that we were talking about, he runs a company called Pets 911 Inc.
Wow.
And on there, it says their mission to supporting Long Island pet owners and bridging the gap between veterinarian hospital, vet clinics, animal services, and rescues to provide the highest level of care and reliability, professionally equipped transport services for your pets.
Wow.
Now, do you have a pet?
I do.
What do you have?
I have a cat.
Is your wife crazy about this cat?
We all are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got the pup, my second dog, crazy about this dog. He supplies ambulance services for pets.
Wow. that's
And I'm like,
crazy.
I never heard of
I
anything
never
like
did
that.
either.
But man, what? Because knowing how important these pets are to the families,
Right.
so how did you get involved with that? Because you're not a veterinarian.
No,
Right?
entrepreneur,
Right.
not a veterinarian at all. So like I was saying a while ago, my friend had flipped a car, probably about 3.5 years now. Okay, maybe even 4, and she had to be airlifted. She had 2 pets in the car, 2 dogs, and one dog was bleeding out. And the emergency people that were responding, unless it's a canine or a service dog, they can't really do anything for it.
Right.
Right.
So they gave it a little bit of oxygen, but her mother had to come 50 minutes, pick up the dog, drive it 15 minutes to the vet. The dog was bleeding out, and it just made it. So I was like, what the fuck? There's nothing.
Well, you can't
for-
curse. That's all right. We'll bleep
My
it out.
bad.
We'll bleep it out. We just lost the
My
sponsor.
bad.
Just let no.
So it was just like these animals are like our family.
Right.
They're like our
That's what I
children.
was just
Right.
saying.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, WTF? What's going on? Like, and I started to research more and more, being an entrepreneur, and I'm into healthcare and technology to begin with. So I'm like, something, let me see something. And everyone was right. There's no 911 for animals. If you call 911, they say we can't do anything for it because it's an animal.
Right.
You can't put an animal in a regular ambulance
And
because of the people, because of regulations that the
But
state
this
has.
not necessarily doesn't have to be an automobile. It could be
It
an
could be
older
anything.
person in the house, and the dog is.
We get a lot of that. Older person,
Yeah.
can't get out, they can't drive. Anxiety, right?
Mm.
Because there's a lot of people that also have anxiety that like, oh my God, but something's happened to my dog.
right.
I can't
Drive.
drive because
Yeah.
I'm a nervous wreck because
Right.
something's happening to my dog. We get seniors, winter time, summer and winter, but we get seniors. I can't even bring it to the vet because I can't lift my dog. We get a lot of loss of use of
Who
back
comes
legs and
to
everything.
pick up the dog? Is it a veterinarian or is it somebody? Yeah.
So we have me a lot of times as a driver, but also as a vet tech on the ambulance all the time. So you get either vet tech. We have 2 veterinarians that are jumping on board as of June, and we're also expanding into Queens and Brooklyn and Manhattan.
So these veterinarians are now saying to all of their patients, so to speak, hey, here's a service that we provide
Right,
in case there's an emergency.
right. We get a lot of calls from vets saying, our customer or our patient can't be transported here. Can your service pick it up? Or they give our number out to say, because a lot of people call the vets and say, listen, and the vet's like, well, I don't have a transport, but I know of, a company that we deal with a lot, the Pets 911.
Right.
And now going back to the car accidents, okay, are you getting your way in with the PD 911 in any way, so that if there's an accident and I'm unconscious and I'm with my dog, they take me to the hospital. I'm not calling you guys because I'm unconscious.
Right.
Who's calling for the dog?
It's either homeowner. We'd have the police call us before,
Right.
saying, "Listen, there's a dog." Unfortunately, a lot of times when they're hit by a car,
All right.
police respond to the scene,
Right.
and they say, "Okay, well, let's call Pets 911 and let's see if they could do something." Unfortunately, not sometimes they don't
Even know.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
So,
Is it only domestic animals that you guys help out, or will they call you if there's? Will the PD call you if there's a deer hit on the LIE, or if a raccoon or something's been hit?
That's a great question. So because of regulations, the way that it is now, it has to be a domestic, and it has to be an owner with it.
Because
Right.
think about it, Butch.
You're not allowed to touch wildlife.
Right. And especially raccoons, because of it could be
Rabies.
rabid, it could be carry other diseases. But however, we do dogs, cats, and birds.
Okay.
We do have birds.
And the only reason I'm asking is similar to what our sponsor and our good friend Art Lee does with his Life Vac. In the beginning, it wasn't even supplied to first responders. Now Art does supply it to first responders. Maybe there's an in for you to get with PDs and rescue squads and things like that when there is a situation where the accident might have been them hitting a deer or an animal that spun the car out or something like that.
What I'm saying, Butch, is I'm looking at it from his point of view. Unless you get in, who's going to pay him if he's rescuing a deer?
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not going to say that here. He's being diplomatic. But I'm saying, there's only so many ambulances you guys have and so many people on duty.
Right. We have quite a few ambulances now. We also have some special service vehicles, but we do have a not-for-profit side though.
Oh, you do?
So there is a profit side and a not-for-profit side. We do try to take in donations and help out whoever can't pay for it because of any type of financial struggles and stuff like that.
And that kind of leads to my next question. There are I had a Boston Terrier who passed away. I think it's about 2 years ago. He wound up getting lymphoma. I wasn't able to because I didn't know about them. There's insurance companies now specifically for pets. Are you involved with those insurance companies? Do they cover things like this now?
It really goes differently across the board. There's some companies that'll cover 70%, some companies will cover 80%, whether it be they don't really cover the transport as much as they do for, let's say there's a lot of times we get an oxygen call and we don't have, like a lot of the vets have, so that you can put the oxygen mask on, etc. We have actually oxygen chambers in the vehicles. So we physically put the animal in the chamber so we can regulate what percentages of oxygen that the animals get.
That's awesome.
But going back to like what you were saying, there's a lot of times where, a vet will call us or a patient will call us and we will need to take care of that.
That's awesome.
As far
as as a pet owner of a dog that was that had a tough time for 6 months, I certainly appreciate what you guys do. It's just amazing. It's great that that's out there now.
Clever.
And hopefully maybe you'll expand in New Jersey.
I mean, we already go to Jersey. We've been to Ordell in Jersey. We've been to Red Bank. We've been up to Cornell Medical Center. We've also been to England and Boston. So if it originates here, the way that it's set up now, if it originates on Long Island and they have to have a special surgery or a special, they have a certain condition that one of those other ones take care of. That's why we go to Cornell. We've been to Angel in, like I said, Angel in Boston, Red Bank, Jersey, and also Ordell.
Awesome.
Very good.
Awesome.
Thank
you very much.
Like Butch said, by the way, I have no idea who that guy is. What Butch said with my insurance, I have I don't want to say the name. What the heck? It's MetLife. Why not? It's MetLife VIP insurance. After the deductible, which isn't that much, they've covered 90% of like a $4,000 surgery or something like that.
Right.
So that would be awesome if ultimately, because I'm sure it could get kind of expensive to transport a pet. that you could, the insurance companies will get in on that.
Definitely, it definitely can, because you have them on different meds, you have them on oxygen the whole time, so it can get quite costly. And it really depends on the situation, also the proximity where you're going from one location to the next.
It's pretty incredible.
It is. You mentioned some specialty equipment, the oxygen on there. What other specialty equipment do you have on the ambulances?
Well, we have things to monitor their heart. We have things to monitor their vitals. Everything is on the ambulance.
So it's set up for all veterinarian kind of emergency care.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Really, really. Can you give us one more story of something that happened recently? A good one. Give us a good one.
Yeah.
Where your services really came in handy, where the animal may not have made it without.
Yeah, there was a dog. I'll give you the one from when we went to Angel in Boston. It started out here in Huntington. It had to have a special surgery with its larynx. Couldn't breathe. Okay, it was intubated all the way there, and we had to pretty much regulate it the whole time while on oxygen during a 4.5-hour trip all the way to Boston. And we usually, we fly there. We fly there because of the fact that time is always of the essence.
Right.
So your service also includes if it has to get on a plane and go to a specialty facility.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
It includes that as well.
How many ambulances you have?
Right now we have 4 ambulances and 2 special service vehicles.
How many people are working?
Probably about, I would say about 16 people now.
You're not on the stock market yet. Sounds like
not yet.
Sounds like a good stock. See, this is what I was talking about the other day with stocks. This guy goes, boom, we get it on the ground floor.
Yeah, well, everyone loves their pets, right? Like
yes,
it's like your family. It's like your
absolutely.
My pet's like my child. So
yeah.
Well, Michael, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. So much.
Website
pets911inc.com.
Do you want to give out the phone number?
Sure. It's a toll-free number. It's 833-738-7911, or you could just say 833-PETS911.
Oh, perfect.
All right,
perfect.
put
This
that
way,
on your
put it on your phone.
Yeah.
Put it on your phone. So thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much.
I'll see you at gymnastics on Friday. With Joe Napoli. You know what? Let's not go to break. We don't need to go to break. All right. So now, poor Michael is the first guinea pig here, but I prepped him. We're gonna have Joe. Bring in Joe for what's the name of the
Easy. Easy with that guinea stuff.
I didn't use that.
Come on, I'm from Brooklyn. You just call that guinea.
I did it. Joe Bada Bing Napoli, the Brooklyn guy. Give me something tight. Look at this Joe Bada Bing. Put that on the back of a softball uniform. All right. So now, Joe,
when I was a kid,
Joe's a retired firefighter.
Okay.
He's not a comic, and you'll be able to tell by the next 5 minutes that he's not a comic. He funny guy though. And Joey comes on from time to time. He's co-hosted in the studio sometimes. So I want Joe to come in every few weeks and give us a segment. So he's going to follow up with some questions with you.
Sure.
That we wouldn't ask you.
Sure.
Okay. And then we'll go from there. So Joe, do you have any questions?
Yeah. Well, my first impression is that you were calling yourself an ambulance, right? So I thought you don't have a dispatch office like people are monitoring like a scanner.
We do have a dispatch.
Of course.
We do have a dispatch, and we also have live service. So in other words, when someone calls in, they actually get a live person on the phone. It's not leaving a message. It's not anything typing. They get a live person, and then it goes to dispatch.
Nice.
So now when you respond lights and sirens?
We respond with. We could do lights. We cannot do officially do sirens yet.
Okay.
Emphasize yet. We're working on it.
All right. Now, would you need a special color light? Because different lights represent different things.
So we actually do have a special color light.
Oh, what color is that?
It's purple and white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have purple and white, and we're allowed to run, as long as it's not front facing, red, we're allowed to run the red and blues throughout the whole unit with aside from front facing.
Nice. Yeah.
But everything is going into the legal process anyway to be able to fully use lights, sirens, everything.
You haven't stumped him yet, Joe.
No.
Wow.
No.
You haven't stumped him yet.
No.
What does sirens sound like, you think?
Yeah, what is this? Like, do you have does it go, oh, That would be cool.
He
That
was
would be, see?
yeah, he was working on that all day.
All day. I got a couple of them.
You have another one? Another
Yeah, I got a. Yeah. My parent died. It was obese. It's the weight off my shoulder.
Wow.
I used to do the.
How come? You ready for this one, Richie? Rich.
Yeah.
How come dogs don't X-ray?
Why?
Because cats
Cat
can.
scan.
I don't get a.
Oh no, Bobby, you didn't give him a Bobby sleeping back there. As soon as you come on, Bobby goes, nothing's going on. He goes to sleep in the back. What else you got? Anything else for Michael?
That's it, Mike.
You know what I want to
Lots
say?
of luck, buddy.
I did want to say one thing though.
Yes.
So you were a firefighter, you said,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we're getting a lot of firefighters also contacting us because of house fires.
Okay.
That's another thing because of the
Yeah.
animals being in the houses and they can't.
How many times have you seen that photo of a dog or a cat and we're giving it oxygen?
Yeah.
You know, that's why I wonder if you monitor and scan her and like there's this call, bam, you respond. Bam,
Right.
bada boom, you're there.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Out of a tree, or is it only medical emergencies?
I mean, we would do it. I have staff. I have actually a cat trap team, so we have different teams for
Hey,
different
Rich.
animals,
Got
so-
everything
yeah.
covered. This is
So-
great. Wow.
All right.
Yeah, I actually got called. I actually got called for
We're
cat
gonna-
trade when I
We're
was
going
a
to
fight.
keep Joe hanging out for a second. We're going to go
Sounds
to
good.
break, and I'll see you on Friday at gymnastics.
Yep. Take care, Joe.
Thank you, Michael.
Hey, pleasure meeting you. Lots of luck, buddy.
Good job. Good job.
We'll be back.
This is personal to me. I'm John Field, 9/11 responder and advocate. I walked the halls of Congress for 20 years. You too may qualify for the same 9/11 benefits as I do. It's true, it's the law. If you were south of Canal Street and you had any of the 69 cancers linked to 9/11, you may qualify for compensation up to $250,000 and free health care. Sadly, only 10% of you have enrolled. Access what you are owed. Call now to find out if you qualify. I fought side by side with Barasch and McGarry for 2 decades in Washington, D.C. to get benefits for all victims, not just responders. You owe it to yourself to call Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. I trust them. So can you.
We're back with Laughter Saves Lives. So, Joey,
yeah.
Richie was talking at the break. We were talking at the break here. Richie brought up a good point.
We don't know if you've earned Brooklyn yet.
Yeah, like all
So
of Brooklyn.
What if we just went like Canarsie?
Little piece.
I'm not from Canarsie.
Where are you from?
Where
What
you
part?
from?
South Brooklyn, Red Hook.
Red
Red
Hook.
Joe. Red Hook.
Now it's Santa,
Yeah.
Red Hook.
Okay.
Joey Red Hook,
Yeah.
Napoli.
This
Joey
is-
Red
How about the Hook?
Hook. Joey I like that.
Joey the Hook.
Joey the
But
Hook.
it says- Well, we know it's from Red Hook.
Right.
Right.
Joey the Red Hook. No, Joey the Hook.
Brooklyn Joe. No.
Hooky Joe.
Hooky Joe.
Joe
I played a lot of hooky in my day.
the Hooker.
Hooker Joe.
What? No, that doesn't
Red
work.
Hooker Joe.
That doesn't work, does
All right,
it?
listen, we're boring people at home.
No, well, I think
Yeah.
they're enjoying Joe as always. Oh, wait! You didn't send me the picture. You got the big
I
announcement.
did.
When
I
did
did.
you send it to me
I did on your phone.
recently.
All right. Well, obviously, we're not going to look for it now.
No,
Obviously.
You have some big news.
big news.
You
Yes, a
are-
baby girl came into the world this week.
Not that.
Excuse me.
Say it.
What's that? The baby girl
Yes.
came into the world this week. A little early, 4 pounds, 5 ounces. Elena. But she's
Aw,
doing good. Everybody's doing good.
Great. Congratulations.
And
Thank
picture. I didn't have the picture. So picture the baby. Picture Joe's face. Much smaller. No beard. No mustache.
Right.
Yeah.
Cute.
We have the same hairline.
Your daughter now?
Huh? This is my second daughter in a month. I had two daughters pregnant at the same time.
He gets around.
No, grandpa. He's the grandpa.
I know his grandpa.
Oh, all right.
I was
All right.
teasing.
I know you were teasing. Be realistic. This guy. What do you think he is? Who has
Superman.
Baldwin? Alec Baldwin with all his young kids.
Yeah.
So now,
Butch looks pretty good, huh?
He looks
he
great.
looked very
right?
good. Very
So
good.
how's it work? He sits home. He has like a button that he presses. Like he comes in.
We don't really know how it works. He
tried to
won't tell us because
disconnect it, but-
we tried to block it, and there's something going on. I don't know how it works. There's
Who doesn't love that face?
we really miss him. You know what it is? You miss him. You know what I mean? After like a lot of weeks, then he comes back like 2 weeks later, and it's like, but no, he does a great job. He does a great job. We love him.
So he came out of a coma. You were the first one he called. He said, "Did I miss anything?" You went, "Nah."
No.
You laugh, Joe, but he really was the first one I called. I came out of it, and I have to tell you, and I told John this. I think I told Richie also. They say, "Oh, you're in a coma, and you see these people, and you hear everything." It felt like 3 seconds to me. I was, it was just a fan.
That's amazing. And how long were you out?
13 days, I think.
Wow.
No, it wasn't 13 days.
Let me ask you a question.
12 days?
Butch,
Hold on 1 second.
just go with it.
Hold on. 13 days.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
think so.
5 days.
I don't know. I don't remember. I just know I was, and I have to tell you what I do have to tell you. And we do say this all the time that after COVID, we made an effort and brought physicians and nurses as a recognized part of our organization, part of Laughter Saves Lives.
Yeah.
And I mean everyone at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in New Brunswick, which is just a fantastic hospital, was so good. There was a million questions that I had, my parents had, my daughter.
Maybe they abused you.
You don't know what they did when you were in a coma.
Yeah. How do you know they weren't abusing you?
I'm here, aren't I? I'm here. I'm here, and I can, and it seems to have worked.
Watch
So-
this. You won't wake up. Bam! Bam!
Yeah, exactly. No, it was just everybody there was
And
great.
they kept knocking him back out again.
And they had to, when I was awake, they had to deal with this. So they were just, the nurses would come in. Most floors, nurses are so bogged down. They come in every couple of hours. They were coming in easily once or twice an hour just to make sure I was okay, that everything was good, that I have everything that I needed.
Before we let you go, when you're in a coma, do you drift in and out like you're in an anesthesia or no?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He said it felt like. Joe, do you have any questions for Butch about his coma?
No, he said it was like 3 seconds. But can you imagine if you can hear what people are saying about you?
Well, I've heard that before, and I know people who have been in a coma who have told me that. So I guess it's, it probably has a lot to do with how much stuff they put you on too.
Because John always knows when people are talking about him. Right in front of his face.
I thought you were going to say, Joe.
People don't care about when they talk about me. Some people will actually call me on the phone and put the phone down on speaker and then start talking about me to somebody, things that I shouldn't hear because they just go, let's give it to them. But if you were in a coma for 13 days, you called me twice from your coma. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I spoke to you like 6 days before. I could swear.
And weirdly, you don't find your social security number.
Apparently, I asked my ex-wife to marry me, so I guess so. I guess so.
And she said yes. And
no, she used some words that we can't use on television for sure.
Joe, where can we find you? What's your website?
My website. Oh, I have an Instagram. That's Sandy Joe.
Ooh.
I started that.
All right.
So I'm going to be updating that. I hopefully, fingers crossed, I went for a big interview today.
Good luck.
And if that works out well, I'll be the big guy at an outlet. So,
all right. Listen, we got to get rolling. Joe, thank you so much for coming
thank
on.
you. Love you guys. You look great,
John,
brother.
when's our next show? Where are we going to be? We got one coming up, don't we?
Williston Park Fire Department on May, I think it's 18th. Check the website.
Okay.
And if you're in New Jersey, make it out to the VFW post in South River. That is going to be a great event. And of course, we love everybody out there.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Richie and I go to the diner. Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Good night.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer? They circle the lips, play ball. Play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball. Play